Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video we got some news. So the Washington football team has signed former Bears left tackle Charles Leno to a one-year deal worth up to $5 million. So we'll talk about the signing, how he fits in Washington, and how this, affects our left tackle spot, and will he be our day one starter. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. And I will be dropping my reaction to the Washington football team's schedule release in about a couple hours, maybe a little bit after that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So let's get started into this video. So like I said early on, we are signing former Bears left tackle Charles Leno to a one-year deal worth up to $5 million. So I think it's, a solid signing, nothing too flashy, but at the very least, it gives us elite depth at that tackle position because he has started 93 straight games for the Bears, which is very, very impressive. He was a 7th round pick in 2014 and, was a Pro Bowler, I do believe, in 2018. A little bit inconsistent, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But John Keim did talk about it on his podcast that at least Charles Leno is coming in thinking he is going to be the starter at left tackle. That doesn't mean he is going to be the starter. There's obviously going to be a, open competition for that left tackle spot, but he signed here thinking that he's going to be the starting left tackle week one. He does not want to play right tackle. The Broncos were interested in him, but playing right tackle, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted to play left tackle. So going to be very interesting to see. Doesn't mean that Samuel Cosmi or Cornelius Lucas, who did play well last year, doesn't mean that they can't end up being the starting left tackle week one. I do think it's going to be a battle during training camp to see how it, to see who's the left tackle. And I think, the money is solid. 1 year, $5 million, considering like Eric Fisher, who just got signed. They had to pay like $9.4 million for him, and he just came off an Achilles injury and is probably not going to be ready until like October or later. So I think this is a solid signing. You look at some of the, quick stats. Leno logged over 1,000 snaps last season and was credited with just 25 blown blocks. That's 8th lowest percentage of blown blocks among qualified tackles from 2020. He does, he often has a lot of false start penalties and other penalties, but this past season he didn't have a great year, but still played solid, a lot better than Bears fans think. So I think it's a solid signing. And you look at the depth chart for the offensive line, you could move some of these around. Like Cornelius Lucas is more of a left tackle, or at least for us this past season, he played pretty well at left tackle, but he can play both. But you look at the depth chart, and it's looking pretty good. I mean, at left tackle, you got Charles Leno, Samuel Cosmi, and Cornelius Lucas as those three guys competing for the spot, and you got John Christian in there as well for depth. And then at left guard, you're also extremely loaded with Wes Schweitzer, Eric Flowers, and Sadiq Charles. At center, you got Chase Roulier, Keith Ismail, and then at right guard, you got Brandon Sheriff, and then Wes Martin as well. But all of these guys right here at the left guard position and Wes Martin can, play both left guard and right guard. And then we got Morgan Moses on the right side. So we got some really good depth, and I'm really liking this squad because, say someone gets hurt at honestly any position, we have someone that's, close to as good and that can still, play at a pretty high level. So I like this signing, and I do like the depth that we are building on the offensive line. And I'll give you guys my prediction real quick on who I think is going to be the starting, 5. Not who I want the starting 5 to be, but who I think it'll be. I think Charles Leno will be the starting left tackle week one, just because clearly they aren't as high on Cornelius Lucas as much as the fans are, because they did draft Samuel Cosmi in the 2nd round. They also signed Charles Leno, both left tackles. So I don't, doesn't mean Cornelius Lucas cannot be the starter, because he wasn't the starter to start out the season, and he worked his way up. After John Christian got hurt, he took over that starting spot and played really well in it. But I think it'll be Charles Leno on the left at left tackle. Left guard, I think it'll be Eric Flowers, but should be a really good competition between him, Sadiq Charles, and Wes Schweitzer. Center, Chase Roulier, Brandon Sheriff at right guard. Right tackle, Morgan Moses. So I'm liking this. Also, another thing, I do think that this kind of signals what we've thought for the last few weeks, especially after they drafted Samuel Cosmi, is that they do view Sadiq Charles as a left guard. Not too surprising, but, he'll probably be our guard and could be a potential Brandon Sheriff replacement if he does end up walking after this year. You got 3 guys at that guard position right now that are listed right where my mouse is hovering over that could start for you, and obviously Brandon Sheriff on that right side. A couple quotes right here from him, which pretty interesting. He says he met with Rivera, Martin Mayhew, John Matsko, Scott Turner, and Jason Wright. Says Coach Rivera made him feel very welcome. He's a different man. They didn't only talk football, they talked life. That was the number one thing that sold him on coming to Washington. The sincerity from Rivera and the respect Leno has for Rivera. So you're seeing right there, like he said, pretty much the number one reason he came to Washington is because of Ron Rivera, and I love to see that. Players absolutely love Ron Rivera, really, really respect him around the league, and you're seeing another guy that came here, had a bunch of options, but he came here because of Ron Rivera. He wanted to be in a positive and competitive culture. And he says that's what he got when he visited Washington. So I'm really liking how our reputation around the league is starting to change a little bit, and maybe in a couple years or maybe in 1 year, it'll be a spot where a lot of different players, especially the big name players, want to come. So I do like this move. I don't think it's an amazing move, but I think at the very least, like I said in the beginning of the video, it'll provide us some very, very good depth. $5 million isn't too much. I mean, it's a little bit more than I would like for someone who's going to be a backup, but I don't think that's what's going to end up happening. I think he'll probably be the starter, even though I do like Cornelius Lucas. I think Charles Leno will be the starter at left tackle. I think, started over Lucas in Chicago as well. So let me know what you guys think about the move. Who would be your starting 5 offensive linemen at left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, and right tackle? Let me know down below in the comments, and I will, like I said, be making my schedule video in about a few hours, so stay tuned for that. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. It really helps out the channel a ton. So thanks for watching, and peace.